Hello everyone and welcome to Oslo Gardermoen International Airport. We are back in the minibus today, that is the Airbus A319, and today we are just going to do a short flight, about an hour or so, to Bergen-Flesland. So this flight is mostly just to check out ChasePlane, which is a kind of newish, recently released add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which is an add-on for camera views for the simulator. And as you can see, if you haven't noticed already, it's the one that is playing cinematic shots of our aircraft at the moment. And yeah, it is still an experimental build. I just want to see whether it's got like performance overhead, and whether it will be a nice replacement for normal, or rather the default cameras for the simulator. So let's see how it goes. It's supposed to add other effects as well, like turbulence from the perspective of the pilots and things like that. But for now, let's review quickly our operational flight plan. So, operational flight plan, here we go. So, Scandinavian 267, our call sign today from Oslo Gardermoen to Bergen-Flesland, cost index 21, flight level today cruising 340. Block fuel 5.1 tons and passengers 144 with 2.2 tons of cargo, and takeoff weight 60.5. Then in terms of the routing, we are taking off from runway 1 on our right via Atlab 7 Delta departure, then asphalt. Arrival is runway 17 via the Persu 3 November into Bergen. Then in terms of the weather, we saw outside there, where is the airport weather now? Gardermoen is right here. So 170 degrees 5 knots for the wind, cover okay, conditions -10, very cold. QNH 1005, no significant change. Then arrival into Bergen, cover okay, conditions over there, 4 knots wind, -6, QNH 1006, and wind at 1200 feet, so 110 at 8 knots. Then in terms of the flight plan, nothing really noteworthy here. As you can see, it's quite a short flight. So yeah, that is all good. Our MCDU is partially set up, APU bleed is running, passengers are boarding, so that is good. What we need to do now is just grab our charts so we can listen to the ATIS information and grab our clearance from the controller. So ground chart. So ATIS, departure ATIS is 127.155. 127.155. So 155 set. And delivery, and I think today we are just gonna use CPDLC, so we'll go ground 121605.
Contact, you have information, Yankee. Gardermoen Airport information, Yankee. 1037 Zulu. Wind 170 at 5. Ceiling and visibility, okay. Temperature -10. Dew point -13. QNH 1005. Landing runway 19 right. Departing runways 19 left, 19 right. Transition level 080. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Yankee.
Okay, so information Yankee, transition level 8000 set, QNH 1005, departure runway 19 left and right, so we are set. We can then just ask for our clearance using the SpeedyLC here. So ATC request, pre-departure clearance, information Yankee, they said. We are at, what is this gate? I think it's 44. ENGM. And aircraft type 319 and sent. Good. Refueling is completed, so let's see. Fuel pumps on and seatbelt sign on as well. We are supposed to depart at 11 Zulu, so we are still on time. Did we get confirmation that our clearance has been received? I'm not sure. Yes, stand by. Okay, so load sheet while we wait for our clearance. 55.6, 0 fuel weight, and 30.2. Takeoff weight is 60.5. That is set. Accept that. Excellent. And I think we can do the cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity. Flight control. Fuel quantity 5,080 kilos. Balanced. Seatbelt sign on. ADRs. Nav. Barrel ref QNH 1005. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. And there is our clearance. 1 right at lap 7 Delta departure is what we have set up. Call 121605. When ready, that is set. If unable, revert to voice and we'll say Wilco. Send. And close that. Then we go to our secondary flight plan and set up the engine outset. So OSLX1. That's a PPD point. So ENGM runway 19 right. And that's got 192 as 25 miles out. PPD point, store, secondary flight plan, OSLX1, and then hold there with 1 minute leg time, and then back here, so ENGM. And we'll come back to runway 19 left. So arrivals 19 left. So just go ILS, no star. And with that we are set. So then we go fix info OSL X1 and ENGM runway 19 right, with 192 as the radial. And that is set. Clearance is confirmed. Close. Not recall, just close. So with that, we are set to go. Let's just make sure that we have updated everything there. External power can come off. Close the door and bring down the armrest. So sync the final load sheet, sync the weather, calculate. I think we are probably going to use anti-ice, not sure. 150, 150, 154. 150, 150, 154. Flaps 1 up 0.4, slack 77. That is set. No precipitation reported in the vicinity. That is fine. So let's see now. SID at lap 7 Delta. Just want things to move quickly here. So that's looking straight up. Where is the chart? And I've SID. There we go. So at lap 7 Delta is right here, so take off from 1 right, and then GM 619448, 619, and then 448, and then at lap. Yes. Good. Arrival is fine. We didn't get an initial climb clearance. Nothing on this chart. 1006 is set. Navigraph chart has initial climb clearance of 7,000 feet, which is never shown on the little charts for some reason. I'm not sure why, but there we go. So before startup checklist, Parking brake set. ECAM status. Really? Parking brake set. Takeoff speed and thrust are calculated. Windows closed. Beacon light is on. Before startup checklist is complete. And we can ask for pushback. Got him on ground. Hello, Scandinavian 267. Request pushback and engine start. Are we going to get a moving map? Sometimes it doesn't want to work.
Scandinavian 267. Got them on ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face west.
Push and start approved. Face west. Scandinavian 267. Okay, so continue the pushback. Face west is going to be nose right. Nose right.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake is released.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brake set.
So that's not going to load up, huh?
Cabin crew arm doors, cross-check and report.
Okay, that's all good. So ChasePlane, this is a cinematic view once again. So far it's going so good. There are some status that you have noticed there, but to be fair, I did have some status before installing ChasePlane. There are occasional status, I'm not sure what they are caused by, so, but if you look at the previous videos, you will see those. But so far so good. Once we are in the cruise, then I'll show you just how the app itself works, or the add-on itself works, and how to set up the views and import views from other aircrafts. So yeah, I think it's time to start our engines now. So we are past the red line, so ignition start and engine number 1 start. Good, so engine number 1 is starting. So one thing that ChasePlane adds to the simulator is camera effects from the viewpoint of the pilot. Just take note of the pushback time here, 10:56. We are very early, so that's good, 4 minutes. So it adds camera effects from the perspective of the pilot. So when you are maybe making like banks, sharp turns, turbulence controls like runner input, parking set, engine 1 is available, engine number 2, and confirm good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
So when you are flying through turbulence, for example, you'll be able to make some nice movements inside of the cockpit, which would kind of be similar to those who are using head trackers, for example. But let's see how it goes on this flight. Other thing is like if you have like uneven terrain, like when you are taxiing, you will be able to feel some of the bumps as the aircraft is taxiing on the ground. But what's very important here is that it doesn't add performance overhead. There is something that we forgot because we are kind of trying to move very fast. What we forgot is to set the squawk. So AOC, actually not AOC, we're going to ATC menu. No. So ATSU, ATC menu, and message record and clearance. Squawk is 6615. 6615. Set now. So there is the ramp agent walking away with a pin, and with that we are clear. So flaps 1, spoilers, arm, and auto brake max. Flex not flex, but pitch trim is up 0.4. That is set, and with that we can do the after start checklist. After start checklist, anti-ice, we are going to set it up today. No precipitation, but let's just be safe. ECAM status is checked, pitch trim up 0.4 is set, and radar trim is neutral. After start checklist is complete, and let's set up these as well. With that, we are ready to taxi. Scandinavian 267, request taxi.
Scandinavian 267, runway 19 right taxi via Juliet Romeo Papa November Alpha 9er.
Scandinavian 267, taxi runway 19 right via Juliet Romeo Papa November Alpha 9. So Juliet is what we are on now, and Romeo is the next one that goes to our right hand side.
Taxi via Juliet Romeo Papa November Alpha 9er.
Of course, that's what I said. Problem is the pronunciation of 9 versus 9er. It can get annoying.
Scandinavian 267.
Quite annoying actually. So taxi on, runway 10 of flight on, and we taxi on to Romeo here. So takeoff config test normal. Nice. So here we are with ChasePlane views, of course. I've set up a couple of views just to see how it goes. But I have to say that it's really user-friendly. I think it makes setting up the views very easy because the default way is quite tedious. So this is Papa. Make the turn here. The default way is kind of tedious because of the many variations of aircraft. So when the simulator for 2024 released, the camera system was kind of bugged, or maybe not kind of, it was bugged, because if you look back at older videos, you will see that I had camera views set up in the Flight Simulator 2020, but nothing on 2024 except for the A350. Now the reason for that is because when the simulator released, you could set views for a particular aircraft, and when you got back into the aircraft on another flight, the views would be reset, and it was kind of annoying. So I just never bothered to set up any more views. When it then got fixed in subsequent updates, I just never really bothered with the Fenix because it has got so many variations of the aircraft. So if you look at the older videos, you will find...
Hey, thanks, takeoff. Okay, thanks, bye.
Cool, thanks, bye. So you will see that for the A350, for example, I have some flight of some cameras set up in the A350-900 particularly because the A350 only has two variations, the A350-900 and the A350-1000. So when you set up, you only have two aircrafts, so you only theoretically need to set up views for two aircrafts, right? But for the Fenix, you have multiple variations of the same aircraft because of the many engine variations and sharklets and non-sharklets as well. So if you take the A319, for example, you would have the A319 IAE and CFM56, and each one of those comes in a sharklet and non-sharklet variation. So that's already 4 variations of the same aircraft. That's the A319. And then you still have to go to the A320 and then the A321 as well. So if you keep doing that, then you end up basically having to do views before any flight. So for that, because of that, I just ended up not bothering to set up views for the Fenix, and I only did for the A350, which ended up working fine. Now with ChasePlane, you can set up views easily on a particular aircraft. It's still separated, but you can import views you've done for other similar aircraft. So you can go into the app and you can import views from let's say the Fenix A320. So for example, if I go now here and I say delete, let's say delete all these engine views, including whole cockpit and co-pilot window. So those views are gone now, but I can go into import and I can go to similar aircraft. So I pick an A320, and then I'll say of the views that I already made, I would like to import the co-pilot window, the glare shield, the whole cockpit, left wing, right wing, left engine, and probably maybe the co-pilot view as well. And I say import selected views, and as you can see here, they are together with all the keys that are bound to it. So if I say right wing now, and there you can see, and using the key, of course, the shortcut, that works fine. So very, very nice and simple. Now before we get carried away here, let's do the taxi checklist. Flight controls, ailerons, nothing. So let's see. And this is of course why you do flight control checks. Okay, so flight control check, still nothing. What's going on there? Okay, that's working, but nothing is showing up here.
Scandinavian 267, contact Gardermoen Tower 118.305.
Contact Gardermoen Tower 118.305, Scandinavian 267. Okay, this is Alpha 9. So we will make contact with tower as soon as we just finish our...
267, contact Gardermoen Tower 118.305.
What's going on with our controller now? Seems to be disconnected. What is going on now? Okay, now it's working. Okay, so spoilers arm again, because those are on the stick. So 118.305. And ailerons left, right, elevators down, up, radar left, right. Flight control check is complete. So let's check in with tower, but taxi checklist first. Flight controls checked, flaps config 1+F is set, takeoff config is normal, radar and predictive wind shear on, engine mode selector norm, should be norm, APU off as well, and ICA memo, takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Gardermoen Tower, hello, Scandinavian 267, ready for departure.
Scandinavian 267, hold short of 19 right.
Hold short of 19 right, Scandinavian 267.
Scandinavian 267, runway 19 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 19 right, Scandinavian 267. So, line up. Transponder Tara.
Red Nose 3, Romeo Golf.
Landing lights on.
Alpha 5.
And strobe lights on.
Alpha 5, Red Nose 3,
Line up
Romeo
checklist. Takeoff runway, 19 right, TCAS Tara packs. Packs off. Line up checklist complete. Now our stick was misbehaving there, so it better not disappoint us.
Scandinavian 267, Gardermoen Tower, wind 160 at 5, runway 19 right, cleared for takeoff, traffic 1 mile final, no delay.
Cleared for takeoff, 19 right, no delay, Scandinavian 267. So we have got traffic on our case, so let's go.
No. Scandinavian 267 cleared for takeoff, traffic 1 mile final, no delay runway 19. Right.
Seriously? Manflex 67 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Cleared for takeoff, 19 right, Scandinavian 267. 100 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. So much for no delay, huh? Very nice. Thrust climb.
Scandinavian 267, contact Oslo departure 120.455.
Contact Oslo departure 120.455, Scandinavian 267. And of course, as you can see, the camera controls are quite easy to navigate through if you set them up on your primary control device. Flaps 0, speed checked, flaps 0. So 120.455.
Oslo departure, Nordic 1104, good day, 1,600 feet.
Nordic 1104, Oslo departure, good day, identified, climb to flight level 190.
Climb to flight level 190, Nordic 1104.
Oslo departure, hello Scandinavian 267, passing 5,600, climbing to 7,000.
Scandinavian 267, Oslo departure, good day, identified, climb to flight level 170.
Climb to flight level 170, Scandinavian 267. So 170. Still hand flying, of course. So let's go autopilot and clean up the aircraft. Flaps are up, spoilers can be disarmed, and pull standard. 700 flight plan, copy active to remove the engine outside, fix info, clear that. Next one, clear as well. And we are set. Ice is not detected, so anti-ice off. Nose wheel lights can come off as well. And we are passing 10,000 feet, so other lights off and seatbelt sign off as well. Very nice. And with that, we are set. So 170, and we are going to set up the auto tune, and let's set up auto respond as well, because we just want to, let's actually ask for a shortcut here. Scandinavian 267 requests to proceed direct to ATLAP. Let's do that.
Scandinavian 267, confirm direct to Atlant.
Yes.
Affirmative, Scandinavian 267.
Scandinavian 267, roger, cleared direct to Atlant.
Cleared direct to ATLAB, Scandinavian 267.
Good. So direct to ATLAB, that's just a small shortcut there.
Polaris Control, Scandinavian 267, crossing flight level 148 for flight level 170 direct ATLAB.
Scandinavian 267, Polaris Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 340.
Climb to flight level 340, Scandinavian 267.
Okay, so flight level 340 is set, and now we can just check out ChasePlane. So this is what the interface looks like, and these are all the views that are available, and each one of them can be assigned to a particular key on either your keyboard or say your controller or whatever. And some of them are default, so if you don't like them you can just delete them. For example, this one's cabin forward, you can just delete them. The delete key or the delete icon actually comes up when you hold Control and Alt. So here we are now. So back to pilot's view. You also get external view. We got a spot view and tail view, belly view, gear view. So this is views that come default, and as you can see, you've got some cinematic shots as well. Quite nice, but what's also nice here is that you can delete or add new ones if you want. And of course in the world view you can do drone views and flybys, and if you're at a particular airport you can do tower view as well.
Polaris Control, Finnair 9
So the
Kilo
nearest,
descending via Eseba 4 Mike.
we can probably check out tower view once we get to Bergen. So let's say we want to set up a new view. So you will move around the cockpit just as you normally would. So you would go, whoops, what just happened there? So it looks like I might have multiple key bindings there. So autopilot is set. Okay, now we are fine. Climbing once again, coming back to speed, we should be fine. So you can then go to wherever it is that you want inside of the cabin using your normal control key. So let's say you wanted to set up a view from this window. So let's say like here, right? Say I actually want to save this view, so you just go to ChasePlane. You would then say, okay, there is this particular view that I want. I'm just gonna say create, and you can group it into a passenger view and say, okay, what am I going to call this view? I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna say right overhead, over wing, right over wing, and that is set. So when you say now right over wing, where is it? That's set up, and you can give it a shortcut. So you can say I'm going to assign this one now right over wing. Let's say I'm gonna give it a 9 and say save assignment. Now I'll then go to reset view. So this is now where we have got a view that's reset, and you can go to 9. So click 9 and it will come back to this view. So very, very simple. And suppose you want to set up another view from here. So maybe you want to go now to the other side. You then go here. You say, okay, let's say we set up maybe here should be like that, and then you say ChasePlane, add a new view, leftover wing. So you say it's also passenger, left over wing. Set that up, and shortcut would be number 7, the opposite side on the keyboard. Save assignment, and we are good. So right over wing, left over wing, and if you click on it again, then it comes back to the reset the view. So very, very simple. Now suppose that you imported views. For example, on the ground I show you that you imported a view from another aircraft. So let's say you imported now a view like left, let's say the right engine, which is num3. So right engine is this one. Now this came out of the Airbus A320, and unfortunately you wanted to see the engines, but of course that aircraft is longer. So now what you can do is you can, whoops, I'm not sure which one is the I'm not sure which one is the conflicting key now for the movement. But let's say we are here and we just want to do some changes so we can see the engine a little bit better. Maybe we go somewhere like, let's say we want to be here, right? Maybe this is a better view. Let's say like, let's say we still want it to be inside of the aircraft. Maybe something like this. So remember, this view is already there. So this is the left wing. So you go left engine, and you say save position. So this is now the position of the left wing or left engine. So if you go now right engine, left engine is exactly where we left it, and this remains untouched. Right, so other thing that I like, of course, is that if you want to add a view, you can see here when you go to create, you can go into community. Maybe someone has already set up nice views for this particular aircraft, and this is all the views of people who have shared their views that they have created. So if you want to check out, for example, there's this one that says cockpit door. You can just do this, and this is where the cockpit door view is. And maybe if you don't like that, you like this one better, or you like that one better. Captain, right hand seat, main panel, maybe pedestal, cabin wing, there it is, EFB view. Scandinavian 267, expect Pesu 3 November, runway 17. So as you can see, if you want a particular view, for example the EFB, you just click it and you say import selected view, and now you go back to your view and that view is going to be there for the EFB. And if you want, you can assign a shortcut to it as well, or you can adjust it. But I don't like it, so I'm gonna say delete it because I don't want it. But that's basically how you set up your different views in ChasePlane. Then the rest is just, of course, some other preferences. For example, if you scroll down, you will see that you have Scandinavian 267, expect Pesu 3 November, runway 17, ready for descent. So just descent is just there, right on time.
Scandinavian 267, descend to flight level 180.
Descent to flight level 180, Scandinavian 267. Okay, so 180, down we go. So these controls, there's slow control profile, normal control profile, and fast control profile. I normally use the normal control profile, and if you can see, you can set up your look speed, which would be this would be the rotation speed, 150 degrees per second, and then you have got a fault has been detected with your side stick controller dead zone. Please calibrate. Yeah, for some reason, not sure what is happening there. And then position movement, you also get to dictate how fast you want your movement to be. That's 5 meters per second, and zoom speed as well. And then the rest is just control assignment, if you are interested in that. Now, one thing that ChasePlane unfortunately doesn't do so good is if you use time compression, then the camera control movement is going to slow down. So for example, this is how it behaves in normal. If you go 2x, all of a sudden it's moving slower, and if you go 4x, then it moves even slower. So this, I'm not sure whether it's a bug or a feature, but even if you choose the fast control profile, for example, and you go 4x, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It's fast but not faster. And also remember that on the first one is 200 degrees per second. That's the maximum that you can go, so you can't go any faster. So if you are on a long haul flight, for example, it might become a little bit of an issue for you. So this I've reported, of course, the developers, they probably are working on it. This is experimental build, of course, so we just have to be patient there. Okay, we are given Pesu 3 November. It's time to actually do the arrival briefing, because we do want to get to the ground after all. Get on the ground. So Pesu 3 November, runway 17 right. I think it's what we have set up, Pesu 3 November. So that is all right. So Pesu 3 November is coming from there. So Pesu, and then make that DME arc to Kilva. And let's just have a look. So Pesu 3 November 100 Pesu, and then direct the DME arc and then Gilva. Then from there we are going to probably get ILS Whiskey, I hope, and there from Gilva, and then direct 3-degree glide slope. Threshold altitude is only 166, so that is fine. So while we are here, we'll then listen to the ATIS information 125255. 125255. 255.
Flesland Airport Information Hotel. 1123 Zulu. Wind 090 at 4. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature -07. Dew point -16. QNH 1006. Landing and departing runway 17. Transition level 080. Advise on initial contact you have information hotel.
Okay, Flesland information hotel. Wind is 090 at 4. And QNH 1006. Temperature is -7 degrees. And the transition level is 080. Set, and minimums for the ILS Whiskey. Cat 1 DME is 370 for a Cat C approach, so 370 barrel. We approach 129, so let's do config 3 there, and let's see. So arrival performance calculation, refresh the meta, enter that 080 at 4, not 090 at 4, -6 instead of -7. So one of them is using okay, now it's updated. Good. So landing weight, let's use, now it's 59.2. 59.2, 58.6, so let's say 59.
Nordic 6 Mike Hotel, descend to 5,000 feet.
So let's say 59, flaps 3, and we should be fine with auto brake low. So auto brake low, and that is good. So we're going to leave auto tune frequency on with beyond 80C so we can lessen our workload here. So of course, now that we have ChasePlane, we can do a whole bunch of we can easily set a whole bunch of views now. But I see that for other YouTubers, they'll probably be more interested in the cinematic views. For those who do cinematic videos kind. But for us, we are more interested in views like this and engine views. Then of course we have something like this. Other view that I like is the GoPro view, which is coming in handy when you are looking for the runway when you have got some low visibility. And then of course I like this view from the co-pilot's window, which I think would be a nice touch. Good. So I think that is pretty much all there is to see about ChasePlane for now. We will look at other things when we get onto the ground. Okay, passing 10,000 feet and slowing down to 250 knots, and landing lights can come on, seatbelt sign on as well.
Scandinavian 267, contact Flesland approach 121.0.
Scandinavian 267, contact Flesland approach 121.0. So 1210. That's, we have auto tune of course, so Flesland approach, hello, Scandinavian 267, passing 9,600, descending to 8,000. Hope they give us ILS whiskey.
QNH 1006, expect the ILS whiskey runway 17 with the Gilva transition.
Scandinavian 267, expect ILS whiskey runway 17 with the Gilva transition. QNH 1006. Nice. So ILS whiskey is what we have set up already, as you can see on our navigation display there, and minimum barrow is 370 for cut C approach, so that is already set up. Nothing for us to do there. Go around altitude is going to be 2,000 feet. So for now, let's just switch on the landing system, and you can see we are receiving both the localizer and the glide slope. 8,000 feet is actually the transition altitude, so let's go 7,900 rather, so that we switch to QNH 1006. So QNH 1006 there, as you can see. Very nice views outside, of course. It's winter in the northern hemisphere at the time of recording this. Approach checklist. Barrow ref QNH 1006 set. Seatbelt sign on. Minimums Barrow 370 set. Auto brake low. Engine mode selector no. Approach checklist complete.
Scandinavian 267, descend to 3,100 feet.
Scandinavian 267, descend to 3,100 feet.
Scandinavian 267, cleared direct Gilva. Cross Gilva at or above 3,115 feet. Cleared ILS whiskey runway 17.
Scandinavian 267, cleared direct Gilva. Cross Gilva at or above 3,115 feet. Cleared ILS whiskey runway 17. think he said 3,115, right? Yes, 3,115.
Flesland approach, wide arrow, 36 Echo, flight level
So,
10.
localizer, glide slope, approach. And we are still descending. That sun in our face is going to give us probably a few issues there. Visibility is going to be interesting.
Wide arrow 36 Echo Flesland approach, QNH 1006, expect.
Lock star, and we can start configuring. So flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. Good. Soon we will be handed over to tower. Yeah, that's sun in our face. Not a good big fan of that. Flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. And spoilers.
267, contact Flesland Tower 119.1.
Scandinavian 267, contact Flesland Tower 119.1.
Negative, tower on 119.1.
Tower on 119.1. So let's see whether that's what it wants me to say. Yeah, of course. Flesland Tower, hello Scandinavian 267, ILS Whiskey runway 17. Glide slope star.
Scandinavian 267, Flesland Tower, continue.
Continue, Scandinavian 267. Interesting. So glide slope, gear down. And flaps 3. That's going to be our landing flaps for today.
Scandinavian 267, Flesland Tower, continue.
Continue approach, Scandinavian 267. Did say that. Think it might be broken now.
Wide room for Delta Golf, exit left at Alpha 6.
Or not.
Exit left at Alpha 6.
Okay, so let's disconnect the autopilot and see whether our stick is actually working correctly.
875, runway 17, line up and wait. Runway 17, line up and wait. Lufthansa 875.
So autopilot off.
Wizz Air 1 Whiskey
The
Delta.
go around altitude is 3,000 feet.
Wizz Air 1 Whiskey Delta.
Okay,
Lufthansa 875, Flesland Tower, wind 090 at 4, runway
That's fine.
17, cleared for takeoff, traffic 6 mile final, keep it rolling. Runway 17, cleared for takeoff, keep it rolling, Lufthansa 875.
nice.
Wizz Air 1
Nice to
Whiskey
have
Delta,
the
continue taxi.
views back.
Continue taxi Wizz Air 1 Whiskey Delta.
So landing checklist, ICA memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Can see the runway, 2 red 2 white, but that's sun in our face.
Golf, Flesland Tower, continue.
Okay,
Roger, North Golf.
Wizz Air 1 Whiskey Delta ready to go. Runway 17.
Wizz Air 1 Whiskey Delta, hold short of 17 arriving traffic.
Roger, hold short of 17 for traffic. Wizz Air 1 Whiskey Delta.
1,000.
checked. Let's see how we do.
Scandinavian 267, wind 090 at 4, runway 17, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 17, Scandinavian 267. So stick seems to be working okay.
Lufthansa 875, contact Flesland departure 126.1. Contact Flesland departure 126.1, Lufthansa
Yeah,
875.
2 red 2 white still. So let's see how it goes. Still 2 red 2 white.
500. 100 above.
Land.
Minimum.
Continue. Okay, now we're all of a sudden too high.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
All aircraft be advised, information India now current
Okay.
QNH 1006.
See that ground effect there? That's chase plane. The side-to-side movement. Not the best of touchdowns, but I'll take that. Spoilers reverse green diesel. 60 knots. Spoilers stow and manual braking.
Scandinavian 267, exit left at Alpha 8.
Exit left at Alpha 8, Scandinavian 267. Alpha 8 would probably be this one. I don't know whether it is, but we'll just, this is the Alpha 7. We'll just exit here. No need to roll all the way. So APU can start because it's probably going to be a very short taxi.
Wind 080 at 3, runway 17 cleared to land.
So let's see if we can go to stand number 18 there. Are they going to give us over to tower to
Scandinavian 267, contact
ground?
121.9er.
Scandinavian 267, contact ground 121.9er. So flaps up, spoilers disarm. Weather radar off, TCAS off. 1219. Let's go to stand number 18. Flesland ground, hello Scandinavian 267, request taxi to gate 18. Landing lights off, strobe lights off, taxi light.
Scandinavian 267, welcome to Flesland, gate 18 taxi via Yankee Foxtrot Whiskey Mike.
Gate 18 taxi via Yankee Foxtrot Whiskey Mike, Scandinavian 267. So this is the terminal now, so let's see which one. Previous. Wait a minute. Is it automatically selected? No. So terminal gate 18 is not here. So terminal 3 gate 18. Just show me the spot and activate. Yes, there it is. Good. So no need for the lights. Just continue the taxi. Let's stop the clock. And there is the stuttering that I was talking about. So here we go. Gate 18. It's got a safe dock, of course. So let's see. Stop, and parking brake is set. Flaps are up, spoilers are down, and everything is on here. APU bleed. Supposed to switch this off, and engines can come off. So 2 and 1. And there's the engines, there are the engines running down, so fuel pumps off and beacon light off. Welcome to Bergen-Flesland. Actually never closed the door after we did our views. So arrival time is 12 Zulu 12:01, which is 1 minute late, but I think we'll take that. and we can just read our arrival message from the company here. So AOC menu, receive messages, there we go, 1201. That is set. Okay, so anything else? Parking checklist, we have got parking brake in place. So after landing, radar and predictive windshield, we switch it off. Now we are parking. Brakes are on, engines are off, wing light, we didn't use it today, fuel pumps are off, and parking checklist is complete. So we can set the transponder to 2000 and standby, and have a look outside how the deboarding process is going. And there we have it. And there we have it. Aircraft is being offloaded. The scenery here is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. Not a whole lot of aircrafts on the ground, so it's not that very busy, but I just really love this airport, as you can see here. So let's see ChasePlane if they have got a tower view for this particular airport. So it says that tower view, nearest airport is of course Bergen, which is where we are, and if you look at tower view, this is apparently the tower view from this particular airport. Now I'm not sure whether this is indeed the location of the tower. We can probably check at the airport and see whether this is indeed the tower. So we are moving. So let's see where we came from. Is there a tower? Yes, of course there is a tower. So maybe not the correct elevation for the tower, but it's definitely the tower view. So absolutely beautiful there. Yeah, so if you are standing on top of the tower, you can't see the tower below you. I guess, no, actually there is the tower. So not exactly at the tower, but so if we do, and if we go and say, actually this is the tower view, you can go in here and maybe you want to check from here. If you want to check from inside, let's say you are here. There is the tower. Maybe you go like here and you can say tower view, and you say save this as a tower view. Track aircraft, yes. So you can say ENBR tower, and that is set. So you can go to drone view, and then you can still go back to ENBR tower, and it will bring you back here. This is absolutely amazing, isn't it? Really, really good. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.